Narcissistic supply. It's all about reaction. It is all about reaction. Hear me. What I'm dropping on you right now is jewels. Jewels for conquest over narcissistic people. Jewels for conquest over your enemies at any stage of your life. Whether you're in high school, middle school, graduate school, college, or just in general, in society in general. This is jewels for any age of life, any position that you're in, to overcome your bosses that are narcissistic, to overcome your co-workers that are narcissistic, to overcome your classmates that are narcissistic. It is about reaction. Everything they're going to do is going to be behind the scenes, where you are not able to see until it's too late. What I mean by that is you're only going to see a bunch of confusion and disrespect, but not exactly know where it comes from. This is their strategy. It's a cowardice way of attacking somebody. They won't do it in your face. They'll wait till they're away from you, and they'll do it behind your back. And then it's just going to hit you. Something's going to hit you. A conversation. You find out that something's being said about you. It's a shock value. Because when you face shock value, what happens to you is you're stunned. So you don't have time to prepare a reaction. And this is their whole strategy. So what you have to do is you have to remain stoic. Because they only feed on your reaction. This is the whole thing. This is their whole thing. If they can't get a reaction out of you, they start to react crazy. And they reveal who they are. The whole thing is to control your reaction. You think if you go and you respond to this situation and you do something physical to them, or you meet them at the place in which they begin to attack you, that you're winning. This is what they expect you to do. And they already put things in place that would say that you're going to react this way. Their whole plan was for you to react this way so that they can prove to people that you're insane, that you're unbalanced, that you're crazy, that there's something mentally wrong with you, and that you're a problem. Because you got to remember, this is what they've been telling people. They've been telling people the whole time that you're a problem, that you're a menace, that you're destructive, that you have an anger problem, that you're mentally unstable, all these different things they've been telling people about you. So when you go at them and then you may have this attitude like, man, I don't give a damn about that. I'm going at them. They win. They win. Because even if you do something physically to them, now people are going to believe them when they're lying about you the whole time. You see what I'm saying? And whatever you do to them, still what remains is that they have proven to change the opinions of people about your character. You see, and it's not going to change if you get at them. They're never going to fess up to it and be honest to what they're doing, because then they'll look like cowards. So they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that, because at the end of the day, if you do get at them, at the end of the day, they have to save some face. So they have to continue on with this loop that they created. They have to continue on with the identity that they've created about themselves and about you. So you beating them up or doing something like that will just cause them to go into a sob story about how they were a victim of you, when the whole time they were victimizing you behind your back. The solution is to not respond. I don't care if they are getting under your skin. You never let them see it. You never let them see it. You never let them know it. You never let anybody know it. Now, I'm not just talking about when you're in a healthy relationship. I'm talking about when you're dealing with these people that are trying to sabotage you behind your back. You got to watch people closely so that you can see the cues of people that are acting funny around you. And you got to pay attention to the people that are smiling in your face and they really don't like you. One of the ways that you can tell that you're facing a narcissistic person, they'll smile in your face, try to pretend they're buddy with you and all friends with you. But when there's something that is important to you, that you want to share with them, they will not really be interested in it. Pay attention close, because sometimes they'll act like they're interested, but if you really pay attention close, you'll be able to tell if they really are interested or not. My friend surprised me the other day when I came up to him and I asked him, I said, what you listening to? Because he was listening to jamming to some music and everything. He said, man, you don't know nothing about this. And he switched up the song and he said, man, listen to this. And he put on one of my songs. And I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So the whole thing, the reason why I say that is because, see, and then I consider that person a real friend because he let me know that he was interested in what I was doing and he did it on his own. You know what I'm saying? Even if he thought that I wasn't, the best at my music or nothing like that, he still found something that he liked and still decided to rock with it and decided to present it to me when I wasn't even thinking about it. That's somebody that's interested in you. That's somebody that, messes with you, deals, really F's with you. You know what I'm saying? And you got to really think, because when people like you, the things you do become better. They're not normal. Like, people are not seeing them as normal things. When people really F with you, the things that you do, they are going to take a liking to something that you're doing because they like you. You see what I'm saying? You, for you. So that makes all the things you're doing look better to them. Now, if that's not occurring with the people that say they're close to you, you got to understand, they might got something against you. It might be some jealousy or something like that. They might have some hidden motives of why they're being close to you that has nothing to do with who you really are. It has more to do with what they can get from you. You got to take these clues. All right, so now understanding those clues of who really is for you and who might just be in your face, smiling in your face, but really is against you, you then have to pay attention to if they come to you and start talking about other people behind their back. Okay? So there's no reason to entertain gossip except to understand who you're talking to. That's the only reason. If somebody comes to you with something about somebody else and it don't have nothing to do with them, saying, I need to let you know this about this person because they were doing something to you. No, they just want to talk trash about other people. You got to really pay attention to that because it's putting you on game of who this person is. They be leaking. They be telling on themselves right in front of us. But a lot of times we don't pay attention to it because we be doing the same damn things. You see what I'm saying? But if you don't pay attention to it, you're not paying attention to the fact that they're probably going to be doing that same thing to you. You see what I'm saying? Now watch them go ahead and talk this trash about you with you, and y'all sitting there talking, and then watch them go back over to the person that they was just talking about and how they deal with that person. Watch the fraudulence. Watch the phoniness. Watch the hypocrisy. You see what I'm saying? And it's all about playing a game with people. But you think that these people are not going to play a game with you? So understand, it's about reaction. If you want to defeat these people. I gave you some jewels about how to recognize who they are. Some jewels about it. Now, how you defeat these people is don't give them no reaction, because they feed off of your reaction. It's the only thing that fuels them. They want you to get down in the mud and fight with them. They want you to get down in the mud and argue with them. They want you to get down in the mud and do the same shiesty things they're doing, and they already set up a parameter around you so that when you do that, you caught up in something. It's really strategic. You ever had somebody, you know what I'm saying, like they say something to you, and you get in your feelings about it, and you're like, oh, and you start to check them about it, and then they suddenly just switch lanes on you and say, look, I got you. You see what I'm saying? That's narcissistic stuff right there. They may not be a narcissist, but they just made a narcissistic move. It's draining. That's the basic component of taking your energy. When they get you in that mode where you react in that way, they are taking from you, taking your energy from you. You see what I'm saying? And then you sitting there thinking, yeah, I'm getting at them. I'm getting back at them. Listen, you're giving them your energy. They won because that's what they wanted. They wanted your energy. You give them no reaction, no response. Short of somebody putting their hands on you, anything else you do to retaliate is giving something of yourself to them. You see what I'm saying? You really got to understand this game. Your spirit is always at stake. Your energy is priceless and precious. You must protect it at all costs. And only give it when it's actually absolutely necessary to give it. The times that it's absolutely necessary to give it is when you are truly in love and when you're dealing with the people that you truly love in a positive way. The other times that you absolutely have to give it is when you are in some sort of physical battle where they leave you no choice but to defend yourself. Every other area is access. It's taking something away from you. Every other area is taking something away from you. Hear what I'm saying. You got to really check yourself, because when you think you winning, sometimes you really losing. You don't want to admit that people are smarter than you. And maybe they're not all the way around the board. But in some places, people are more conniving and cunning than you when it comes to trying to destroy someone. In that area, some people may be smarter than you. If you're not acting in this way, you never let them see you sweat. You never respond in a reactive way to the things that they're doing to try to destroy your peace. When you do, they won. Don't matter what you did after that. Once you responded, they won. Because what they're doing is, once they started the process, they've already given up their control. They've invested. It's almost like this person trying to eventually rob you and con you out of your whole bank account. So they come to you, act like they really like you, and give you money here and there to build trust so that they have your confidence. But the whole thing is, they are making an investment. They're giving you that money because they're expecting to get way more back in return. This is what happened to me, and this is what the best con artists and thieves do. It makes you feel like this person you can trust. It makes you feel like they're on your side. But if you think about the little amount that they've given you before you realize it, all that ended and you are giving out money here, left and right. Just living off of the idea of what they did in the first 2 weeks of the relationship. Whether it's a friendship or whether it's a real relationship. You know what I'm saying? So these are the strategies of the narcissist. The way to defeat them always is without reaction. If they come to you with the sob story, start bringing up to you things that they did for you and stuff like that because you saying no to them. They're trying to take from you. You see what I'm saying? If they can't take money and energy is what they're trying to take from you. Energy represents money. Money represents energy. You can look it up and research it. What is the relation between energy and money? Google it. It'll tell you a whole bunch. It'll tell you a whole bunch. When people are taking your energy, they're taking your ability to manifest money, to manifest abundance, to manifest wealth, to manifest growth. This is something that you really, really have to pay attention to. Narcissists are some vicious, maniacal, insidious individuals. No reaction kills them. It kills them. Now, you might have to do that for a long time. You might have to be patient for a long time because they're going to try over and over and over again, because most of them that are doing this is because they've been successful. So at times they've done this and people didn't respond, and then they just kept going, and eventually someone responded. So once again, it's an investment. When they attack you behind the scenes and you don't respond, they're not giving up. They're understanding that this is an investment. So they're going to continue to attack you, even after you've won. They're going to continue to attack you because all they need is for you to respond one time for them to get refueled all over again. Just once. I mean, you could have been not responding for a whole year every single day. And then one day, January 1st of the next year, they get you and you respond. It's almost like that whole year didn't even matter. Like, that's how insidious these people are. You have to not respond until they give up. And then even after that, still, you have to, when you deal with these people, you almost have to change into another person for good. For good. This is the reason why God allows these people come into your life. Because what's supposed to happen to you after you run into these people is you're supposed to elevate into a higher form of you. This is the whole point. You let them get to you, you let them get your goat, they'll destroy you. And then they'll feed off you, eat you alive. And then they'll go and they'll take that victory and they'll go to somebody else and do the same thing to somebody else. Maybe next time it might be your kid, especially if you have a narcissist that you're married to or either has kids with you. So you have to set the bar. No reaction, no response, none. Not in an emotional way. Not in an emotional way. No emotion. I know it sounds harsh because some of these narcissists you love, but you cannot give them sympathy. You can't give them care and concern. You can't feed into their guilt trips. You can't feed into their victimization and their crying. It's all an act. Once they get your sympathy, they're feeding off of you. It's not real with them. It's not real with them. Once you see these traits, you got to know that that's who that person is. They're not going to change. They're not going to change. Once you see those traits, you got to know that that's that person. And you'll be able to tell easily because they will not be concerned about anything you're concerned with. They will not care about the things that you really care about. They can only pretend to care. So you have to watch them closely. You'll be able to tell the difference. They don't care about you. They're not the type of people that are going to ask you how you're doing and then see your energy and see that it's low and then try to give you some advice or talk to you about how you're feeling. And really, some of them, because you got to understand there's a thing called dark empaths. Dark empaths They are empathic. They have the ability to read people's emotions and feelings and stuff like that. And they'll use that in order to take advantage of a person. But you'll be able to tell, because these people the good ones are not going to be people that are going to desert you. They're not going to be people that are going to stab you in the back. They're not going to be people that are not going to take responsibility when they do something wrong to you. This is another way that you can tell the difference. When they offend you and you mention it, a narcissist is going to try to flip it on you. They're either going to try to flip it on you, or either they're going to say something like, I said I'm sorry. What do you want? You see what I'm saying? Whereas somebody that is a healthy empath and that really cares about you, they're not going to do that. And this is very tricky because the narcissist mimics the characteristics of a good person. So you really have to pay attention close. A lot of times, the advice that you're giving them, it won't apply because they've been lying to you. That's the reason why all the times that you're giving them advice, they're not taking it. You find months later, it seems like nothing's changed about the situation that they told you a while ago and the advice that you gave them that actually works. Nothing's changing because they were lying to you about it. You see what I'm saying? They weren't being honest about what was going on. They were just trying to get your sympathy, get your energy. Once you started to give them your advice, you're giving them your energy. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying don't do that because you still have to find out if this is a narcissist or not. So you might have to go through a process of trial and error before you come to the conclusion, because you don't want to live in fear about this. You want to be certain. You want to be certain. So you got to go through a process of trial and error, but you got to watch them close. Like I said in my other video, pay attention to how they are in a relationship with their kids, with their family, with their friends. If they come to you and like to talk about people behind their back and all this other type stuff. You know what I mean? You pay attention to these things. If they slip up and start to tell you things like, yeah, I have a big ego. Yeah, I really do. Or if they slip up and start to tell you things like, yeah, I'm a little crazy. You know, you got to really watch these things. You know what I'm saying? How do they act when y'all get out in public and you embarrass them? Do they walk away from you? Do they act like they don't know you? Do they be a little cold towards you? Do they feel like they're embarrassed about you? Or do they stick by you and be like, I don't care what you did right there. I love you. I'm with you. I'm riding with you. And if anybody got something funny to say, I'm on their ass. You see what I'm saying? You really got to see who you're with. And a lot of you're the type of people that will get embarrassed over the people that you have decided will be close to you. So you got to pay attention to that as well. You may have some narcissistic traits. So these are just the little things that I had to think about and wanted to share with you while I had time. I hope it was informative and I hope it was enlightening. And I pray that if there's anybody watching this that has some smart, sarcastic remarks to give to me or wants to cause me any type of discomfort or harm in any type of way because they're intimidated or anything like that, I pray that all that energy goes back to you in the name of Jesus. I pray that it is all instantly returned to you. I pray that in Jesus' name. Amen. Yadakumallahu wa yusluhu balakum. May God guide you and set right your affairs. And may you have a good day. One.